18 tournament field began a championship quest 3 days ago. A field stocked with 4 previous winners. And we are now down to 2 finalists to decide who takes home the trophy. It's the drama and the passion of the NCAA tournament. One team gets crowned a national champion tonight at Super Bowl in Detroit. The 2009 NCAA Women's Bowling Championship on ESPN is presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. From the Canton Super Bowl, it's the 6th seed, Jennies of Central Missouri, and the number 1 seed, the Nebraska Huskers. And welcome to the National Championship. I'm Beth Mullins along with Carolyn Doran-Ballard. And Carolyn, these two teams very familiar with each other in this environment. In fact, back in both 04 and 05, they played against each other for the title. The Huskers won them both.
It's amazing how those teams with very strong programs and strong coaches keep making it back to the finals. In 05, they had a team that had some TV experience, especially in their anchor bowler, All-American Shannon Plahowski. That helps. It's going to be interesting tonight to see. This Nebraska team does not have any TV experience, so it's going to be interesting to see how they handle the nerves.
And no holdovers, by the way, from that 05 championship team. They don't have a senior on this year's roster. Now, on the other side, for the Jennies of Central Missouri, looking to make some history tonight, the championships are D1, D2, and D3, and no D2 school has ever won the title.
Absolutely not, and it's going to be very interesting because Central Missouri and Nebraska both came out of the losers bracket. Central Missouri has bowled less games. They should be physically and mentally more sharp. Interesting to see how they handle their rest.
And the championship is Baker format, which means you've got 5 bowlers aside, and they'll each take a couple of frames.
Everyone puts a lot of emphasis on that 5th position. It's usually your strongest bowler and your team captain that really gets the flow of the team concept going. But every position is important in Baker. You only get 2 frames, and they better be your best 2 shots of the game.
And it's like the World Series. It's a best-of-7 format to decide the national championship. Central Missouri and 2-time NCAA champion Nebraska to decide who gets the championship trophy.
Daddy. And in part by Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA. And AT&T, your world delivered.
Detroit, Michigan, and over at the Canton Super Bowl for the national championship. And here is the lineup for the top-seeded Nebraska Huskers and their head coach, Bill Straub. Henning, Lagerman, Vandermeer, Calberry, and Luthold. Their starting 5, they will each roll 2 frames per game. For Bill Straub, he's been at Nebraska for more than 2 decades. They've been in all 6 of the NCAA tournaments, including winning the first 2 titles in 2004 and 2005. They beat Central Missouri in both of those championship runs. And around Holmes, the D2 Coach of the Year will go with Surgis, Wallace, Scully, Cortez, and Christopher. And a couple of seniors and a couple of freshmen in their starting lineup. The sophomore Christopher will be their anchor, rolling the 5th and 10th frames. And for the Jennies, they won a championship prior to the NCAA taking over, but in the last 6 years, they've been in the finals twice and bounced by the Huskers on both occasions. And we're having some technical difficulties right now with Carolyn's microphone. We'll have her up and running here shortly. Both these teams in red, and both of these teams coming out of the loser's bracket in the double elimination format. They had to win last night, and then they had to come back tonight. They are just off the lanes about an hour ago, and now right back at it after winning their matches earlier this evening. Kalina Henning will lead things off. The junior from North Platte, Nebraska, one of the team captains. On the high side, leaves the 3-6-10 up. With the Baker format, one team will roll their frame, then the other will follow on the lane right next to them. They will be switching back and forth on lanes for each game through this best-of-7 format. So they'll both get ample opportunity to roll on both lanes. And as you can see, the unique quality of the NCAA tournament, all of their teammates are behind them for support from the back of the lane. Spare shot effective for Kalina Henning leading off.
Always a good way to start. Making a mark in the first frame, kind of get the team going.
And now the Huskers will watch as the Central Missouri lead off Alyssa Surgis, the right-hander from Schaumburg, Illinois. Stingy 9 stays up. Carolyn, we talk about this every time we do a show together, but critical for this lead-off bowler to set the tone and then to go back and share information with her teammates.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, you know, everybody puts emphasis on the fifth bowler, but the first bowler is the one that always takes the risks. If there's a lane change, it's the first bowler. You say, you know what, make the move, let us know if it works. Then the rest of the team knows to make the same move. So it's a very important position.
We'll talk about oil patterns, too, as we progress. And by the way, these are not the same lanes that they bowled on earlier today. And back over to Jasmine Lagerman now, the sophomore from Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. Honorable mention All-American and a business administration major.
Great shot there. One thing you'll notice about the Nebraska team, Bill has done for all the years that I can remember he's coaching, is they all have similar styles. Their push away, their foul through. Great knee bend, great extension at the foul line, and they all look a little similar, so it's very easy to read the lanes off of each other.
Now it's Kim Wallace, the freshman from Richmond, Texas, and the left-hander here. Matches the strike.
Fantastic shot for the left-hander. And she could possibly have one of the best shots because with no one else being on that side of the lanes won't change as much as the right side.
Terrific stroke there from Wallace. Clears the deck. Now back over to Nebraska and Danielle Vandermeer from the Netherlands. Back-to-back for the Huskers.
Another great shot. Both teams starting out very strong.
Now Allie Scully, the senior from Warrensburg, Missouri, and a Michigan native in the starting lineup. Back close to home. Nebraska will grab the early advantage.
Real good shot, playing around that second arrow, but leaves that stubborn 10-pin. She'll change balls to a ball that goes straighter down the lane, plastic ball, to shoot her spare.
Now on the money, each bowler is allowed to use up to 5 different bowling balls, depending on the conditions. And now Nebraska with the advantage, and Valerie Calberry, their second international player out of Canada. 3 straight for the top-seeded Huskers.
With the players being from out of the country, it just proves how good the recruitment is for these NCAA teams.
And a sport that continues to grow, now up to 57 different programs in D1, 2, and 3 around the country, all competing in one championship. And Ortiz leaves the left side up. Natalie, the freshman from Hoffman Estates, Illinois, along with her sister Amanda, rookies on this year's squad.
Missing right on that shot. Seems like everybody else is playing a little bit straighter up the lane around the second arrow and has been hitting the pocket. She got that one a little wide, didn't quite get back.
Now Cortez looking to pick it up.